Let's move into workplace safety and health. Now, on the 28th of April is celebrated Safety and Work at Health. And ILO this year decided that away from physical work safety, there's something which is more dire, and that is the mental health. Yes, I know you hear that a lot, and some people hide behind mental health to be, act in a very unseemly manner. But it is what it is, and mental health is very important. Now, workers face all sorts of injuries and all that. Now, as a HR personnel, what do you make of it? So how often have you come across issues that have resulted in people leaving workforces, leaving their jobs due to mental health issues? I know that there's a lot of, I know people call it office politics. I personally, for one, I'm like, okay, well, that's what we're doing, but just come do your job and go home. Apparently, there's politics, there's gaming, there's chess movements and checkers and whatnot happening in the workplace. How are people, handling that?
Well, for me, we've tried to use the word mental health to cover up so much things that we tend to really overlook. All right. I believe a worker that has good welfare, all right, have a good work culture environment, and have a place that supports his growth. It has a growth pattern itself, and of course, it really makes them to be hard. All right, and of course, they get the needed promotion when due. The work they put in is commensurate with the pay they get at the end of the month. So these are stuff that I feel has a way of balancing people's well-being. All right, the fact that I am working now itself, and I know when I get back home, I don't know what I'm going to give to my children for food. Number one, number two, the road itself is not that good. Electricity. The amount I pay for transportation is quite high. And at night, I have to even stay awake because of insecurity. All right. So all these things, you have to provide all these things yourself, and you have to think outside the box. And if you don't really come around to even come to work tomorrow, your boss is already on your neck, shouting all through, target needs to be met, deadline needs to be set, and all the rest, which of course I understand alongside. But how do you expect one worker to mitigate through these situations that he or she find himself? So invariably, it affects the mental health of such worker, whether we like it or not. In any case, I was talking to somebody the other day, and of course, she said she needs to resume back to work after about a few days of delivery. All right, I said, but then you're not even healed yet. He said, because if I don't get back to work, nobody cover up my shift. All right, I've been away for 2 weeks now, and it's more like. And I said, okay, what about the?
Sorry. The law in Nigeria says 4 months maternity leave.
Exactly.
So which job would you work that only gives you 2 weeks to?
So that's what I'm saying. The fact is, we are still going back to that very point. If the private sector and informal sector are not captured into this structured and implemented, and organizations that default in implementing such itself are put to task, then we get to see this happen all the time. And I'm talking about not just a private entity. I'm talking about some of these expatriate companies that come in, the Indians, the Lebanese, the Chinese, and the rest itself. Okay, I will not want to go too far in that regard. But then we get to see this happens, in some of those establishments alongside. So what do we do? Now, you now expect such a worker to really comply to stay at home instruction from an NLC or TUC. All right. And now imagine such a lady that has to return back to work. All right. She gets back to work. They're calling her that your baby is crying at home. She needs to be breastfeeded. She's juggling the work as well too. Thinking about the Nigerian economic situations alongside too. When you get back home, you have to deal with husband, deal with in-laws, deal with electricity, deal with almost everything. All right. And at the end of the month, almost nothing is in the account, in the bank. And you don't even have time to even do extra work because your already job you're doing is already a full-time. So again, all these things has effect on the mental stability of such worker. And the best we can just talk is improve the welfare of workers as well, get to hear them, all right? Then they can be able to produce more. I can tell you the truth, Nigerian workers are very industrious, all right? They go the extra mile. And this we've seen proven out in many other countries. And that's why you see Nigerians that japa, or they tend to make a travel abroad. We know the meaning of japa itself. They tend to do better because what happens? The environment is a little bit better than what is obtainable here in Nigeria. And you see them working at their optimal level. And then you tend to see less mental health situations as compared to what you see here in Nigeria.